Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Planet Destiny podcast number 98. It is 98, isn't it? I haven't embarrassed myself.
No, you have not embarrassed yourself. You've embarrassed us, usually, but not yourself.
Great.
No.
That's the plan.
Speaking of embarrassments, this is going to be a test of our skills. This will be truly the episode where we either sink or swim as a podcast, because there's not a lot going on in Destiny right now.
I'm gonna leave.
No.
I'm gonna leave. I can't take the pressure.
I'm quitting.
You are dismissed.
Bowing out now. Yeah.
You're dismissed, bro.
This will be like the Seinfeld podcast. It'll be the episode about nothing.
It's an episode about nothing.
Well, that's a subject in itself, isn't it, at the moment? Now,
Sure.
you know, like, I've noticed this as well. I've popped on periodically throughout the week. I tried to have a little bit of a break this week just to try and keep things fresh, because there's still lots of stuff that needs doing. But, like, there isn't that many people playing. I've got the PlayStation app on my phone as well, so I can see who's on. Like, I'm just going to check if my dad's on and maybe he wants to do a Nightfall or something.
That's so sweet. That's my favorite thing.
Until you think about it.
Assuming your
he's
dad's not a dick. I mean, I'm assuming.
No, he's not
also,
at
you
all.
gotta think about it. He's kind of like using his dad for his Destiny fix. Like, Dad, do you need something? Do you need some content done? Please, Dad.
Mega, that
Come
would be
on,
so weird. Because, like, if his dad was a dick and he wanted to play with him or something.
I know.
Just got a text from my dad.
I hope
dick trying to play with me. Fucking this real quick.
I imagine his dad is one of those guys who's like sending salty messages all the time. That's how I'm choose to believe he is.
He doesn't know
just
how to do any of that. And like, if someone sends him hate mail, and he has had hate mail before from people in strikes, because they don't realise that they're playing with somebody who's, you know.
Wait a minute. Hate mail in
in a
strikes?
strike.
In
Yeah,
strikes.
because he
Possibly
doesn't like rushing
incentive.
on and doing, you know, like running to the end of the strike.
Takes
He
forever. And
yeah, like,
what are you doing back there?
yeah, like he'll literally do each section and actually
He
shoot the
doesn't
baddies.
skip the ads.
No, he doesn't skip.
No.
So yeah, he gets a bit of hate mail, and people are dicks to him.
Well, at least your parents play video games. I would love it. That would
My
be
mom
really
plays
fun
games.
if I could.
Yeah, my
That's
mom plays
awesome.
games as
That's
well.
cool.
Man. She's a Candy
parents
Crush
don't play.
aholic.
I actually did a raid with the Black Link. I was off of work, and Link was doing a stream on the Planet Destiny Twitch. I was like, hey, let's play up, dude.
It was a reverse carry. It was great.
It was a lot of fun.
First trials carry. That was a lot of fun.
I felt so out of place because I popped in, and everyone who you were running with, I was looking around. I was like, wow, you guys all have like complete sets of raid armor. It was like one of these things is not like the other.
One of these things is not Heinz ketchup red. It does not have the raid shader. But now it was a good time. We got to get you through there. We beat hard mode. Was that your first time running hard on PS4?
Oh God, no.
Okay,
no.
I was making sure.
No, of
But
course not.
yeah, we got you through there. It was fun. It was
It was really good. I need someone like you, Link, every week to just put a gun to my head and be like, you need to do the raid. What are you doing? I'm like, I don't want
the
to.
raid.
It's
Do
not
it now.
possible. I don't want to do it. It's like, but you have to do it.
Man.
Do it.
I got you.
Yeah.
So has anybody else really been playing a lot of Destiny this week? Because I don't think it's bad for us to say not a lot.
Yeah.
No.
Like outside of the streams, I did for Planet Destiny, I don't think I booted up Destiny once in my own personal time this week. It was just Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday stream, which is always super fun, and then like maybe on Saturday to pick up the Arms Day packages. And that's, I think, kind of indicative for a lot of players right now. Not that the game is bad, but we're in a dry spell. It's a few months after a content release, and we've had our raid, we've had our hard mode, we've had our challenges, we've had trials, we've had Iron Banner. It's about time we had something new, and I think that's what the community is probably feeling as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're kind of in this area where you need to like make your own fun.
Yes.
Which is exactly how
required.
Husky Raid was formed, is in a
Yeah,
time like
there you
this.
go.
So I actually really look forward to these times. if I'm
So
gonna
you
be honest.
thrive. In
Oh,
the
well,
Yes.
the spotlight's on you then, Mega. What are you doing?
Oh, no.
What's the
Well,
advice?
Senpai.
I spent a solid 7 hours to get a 1 minute and 38 second long clip for a video. All that time dedicated to just to one shot, and let me tell you, it was thrilling. We were Yes.
Props.
What we were doing relied on getting 9 of us into the same patrol area.
Oh,
so we had to do a
no.
lot of waiting for people to let us join them. And then as soon as we got everyone in there and had it all figured out, one of our guys got kicked to orbit, and it took his whole fire team with him.
Oh, shit.
And so we had to wait again. And then it had been so long that people had to start leaving. So then we had to scramble to find more people. We got all kinds of issues with ads spawning in the middle of our takes. It was just great. Public events would load in right when we were about to get a perfect take on stuff. It was a real
Now
exciting time.
That's typical. That is, you'll wait ages for a public event, not even the sign of a sausage, and then all of a sudden, wham! You've got one right in the middle of your lights, camera, action.
Yeah, we were super happy. We did get an interesting glitch where a spider tank spawned in the air and just floated in the air facing down, like shooting at us, and it couldn't like kill us, and we couldn't kill it, and we just took some photos underneath it, and it was a merry Thanksgiving time for all.
I bet you're saving that. That's going to serve a very special appearance in a video just as soon as there's relevance attached to it.
Yes. Oh,
Yes,
it
I
will.
need that.
Need that in my life.
That sounds kind of spooky.
A friend of mine
But,
suggested the other week that we're going to get some, he said, I have a feeling that we're going to get some information about Destiny 2 soon. And there has been, in the last 24 hours, a bit of an inkling that there's going to be a reveal at PSX, an event.
really?
Yeah, there's going to be some kind of reveal or like a teaser trailer or something. I mean, this is going to be enough to keep folks ticking over, isn't it, really? Having a snifter of what Destiny 2 is going to look like.
Yeah.
They
Just
could show like 10 seconds of a trailer, and I feel
Totally.
like there'd be 40 hours of videos like that were just analyzing those 10
man.
seconds.
We'll all take part in that, let's be honest.
Dude, all Bungie has to do is just crack open the oven and just
Yep.
let that smell waft into the online kitchen and be like, what is that? What is that smell? And then for like weeks at a time, we'll be like, I think I smelled cinnamon in there. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
No, you're an idiot. That
Rosemary,
shadow
rosemary.
on
Yeah.
on that rock in the background is definitely not Taniks. Like,
Getting the
Gonna
pixel
break
scanning,
down the
yeah.
teaser trailer frame by frame analysis.
oh gosh.
Well, I mean, we do have PlayStation Experience Expo. Is it next week or the week after next week?
It's soon. I don't know the exact date, but that's what it is.
It's sometime very soon, yeah. And that's of course the convention or show really that Sparrow Racing League was originally unveiled in last year. So we're probably going to be getting to see a look at that. I think you guys might have a different opinion on this, but I think we're probably going to be getting a weapon balance preview at the very least during this sort of thing. They've been very quiet about weapon balance.
Yeah, I mean,
Think
there
they're
has
going
been
to go
one
the No
every.
Man's Sky approach and just
Yeah.
dropping.
But there's been one every
nowhere.
December, hasn't there? So
Let's
far,
not talk about No Man's Sky.
We're not talking about
God, that's oh my gosh.
There's been a weapons tuning patch every December so far, so it would be breaking the chain if they didn't have one.
Has there really?
There
I
was
haven't
one
been paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
There
the
was
one
one last year,
the literally the one that changed matchmaking that generated all the complaints that we see now resurfacing all the time came in December 2015. That was the one. That was ground zero.
Well, I'd
Right
be interested
there.
to see what they would do
Yes.
if they hit us with a weapon patch. I think that would be interesting, as long as it's not like too gigantic. I don't want the meta to get like earthquaked or anything like that.
No more
Rip
nerfs.
grasp.
Yeah.
Rip Clever Dragon.
No
know
more
it's-
nerfs.
No more nerfs.
know it's gonna happen.
Things need buffs.
Hashtag not my
nerfs.
nerf.
But, like,
Things do
I agree with
bugs.
that.
Another thing that's important to mention, and this is all just speculation. You can slap me on the wrist for this, but a bunch of YouTubers were actually flown out to the center of the Bungie universe.
All of us are there right now, right where we just have fake backgrounds.
Good ones.
Yeah, I'm
Of
in
course.
Famous
Dee's
ones.
Oh,
Dee's
We
not
were
invited
invited.
now.
That's not
Big
all
ones,
right.
not
John
us
Lifenuski
small
is right
fry.
over there. You know, he's testing out some new hand cannon settings. It looks good.
But yeah, that would they do that for just announcing SRL?
Maybe.
You know,
Maybe.
like I don't know.
Maybe.
This is
I
this
don't
is a
know.
friend of mine that brought this to my attention. We were chatting on WhatsApp the other day about it. It was like,
Don't out his name. Do not out his name.
Oh, he knows who he is. He'll be listening to this in his car on the way to work or something like that later on. He'll be asleep at the minute.
Yeah, good call.
Hello, Gary. and, but yeah, like we had a really good chat about it, and it does make a lot of sense that, you know, if folks are being flown out, then it's going to be something a hell of a lot bigger than just revealing SRL, unless SRL is going to be a much larger scale event this time round. Yeah, all the speculation, so. You know, I don't know nothing. I'm just going on, you know, what's out in front of me here, but I'm kind of excited either way. I want to know what's going on. It would be nice to have a bit of information, even if it was a 10-second clip of stuff from Destiny 2. That's going to wet people's whistles enough, I reckon.
For sure.
You know, content, they can't churn out large-scale content left, right, and centre. We knew that we've had Iron Banners come in. Still have trials every weekend, and then there's SRL coming. It's not like it's like a serious grade content drought or anything like that. People have just burned out, you know, at the moment. It's a burnout. There's still a lot of people playing though. There's still like the figures are still coming in. If you look at Destiny Trial Report and all that, it's not like it's not like a DEF CON 5 billion or whatever it is, the Red Alert or anything like that.
We got things here and there to hold everybody over.
Yeah.
Crucible still pulls in a fair share of players every single day. Stuff like Trials pulls in people on weekends. It's not like, you know, I'm remiss to say this, but it's not like Destiny's dead.
No.
It's just, you know, we're ready for something
never
a little
die,
bit new.
all right?
It's in a bad spot. I think, in honesty, it is in a bad spot at the moment. I think the hoo-ha about
not through any fault of its own. I mean, like
no, I think
that for like
that Bungie
years.
weekly
you
update
can't constantly
really
keep a game
Yeah.
fresh
No.
for like 3
But
years.
we love it.
When there's
I mean,
so
right
much
now-
that's come out. Yeah.
Right now, we're playing the game of let's have fun and continue to be a community together until Destiny 2, and then we get to start it all over again.
Yes.
I don't think
cycle begins
the
anew.
matchmaking T-Web helped the situation. I think the folks that were having a hard time, and this includes myself, with matchmaking. Like I popped on early on this week. I thought I'll have a quick game of Rumble. Mistake. I should have. It was a mistake. I should have carried on having a bit of a break because literally this was a lobby that had 2 players from Brazil, one from the Philippines, and one from Japan. Yeah, straight away. Like I haven't played for a few days. Like literally straight away, and it was just horrendous. Red bar. So I backed out of that. Sorry, it's like please give me something at least that I can enjoy here. So I backed out of that. Fired up another lobby. This is the same thing again, man. You know, it was just horrendous. So I thought I'm going to carry on having a break.
I need to get on and play with you so I can experience these.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
player
please do.
situations.
See that too.
And I promise you, if you play with me, you will have a good time, no matter what the match.
But that's a lot of my friends. I've seen a lot of this surfacing, like because we don't know what like rating that is taken for matchmaking. I was watching Triple Rex stream the other day, and he was like, "It's not KD. It can't be KD. It has to be something else, something a bit more, something that fits with the evolution of matchmaking." Because, like the controversy with the win-loss ratio preservation, Bungie say it doesn't exist, even though they said it existed. So there was like, so there's a situation there. However,
we're never gonna know the full formula, right? Because they're not gonna just pull off the curtain. It'd be like if Coke was like, "Oh, by the way, here's the secret recipe of how to make Coke." Like,
totally, but
This is why they didn't invite us to headquarters, because they know we would be like trying to break into the system, Mission Impossible style, and find the code,
writing it all down and publishing it online. Don't do matchmaking like this, dear Dice, dear Crytek. Anyway, but
that's
like,
why Fallout has a tattoo of Bungie HQ on his back as a map. It's like Prison Break. That's
Pizza is here says, could it be ELO?
This is one of them.
In the chat, Pizza
It's
says,
the cipher.
could it be ELO that bases your matchmaking? We've already had Derek. I think it was Derek Carroll tweeted out that they don't use ELO at all. ELO is actually a stat that is figured out by combining all of your results via websites like Destiny Tracker and things like that. That's how ELO is formed. It's not actually a stat that Bungie generate themselves. However, matchmaking does seem to be very centered around your performance. So if you play, like if you sign in very first game and you're put in a lobby of lesser skilled opponents and you do very, very well, your matchmaking is going to be influenced by that win and how you've done. So if you play well, then your matchmaking is going to get more difficult. It's going to match you up against opponents that are of higher skill sets or further and further away from you. Like this is my issue with the whole win-loss ratio thing. The more I win, or if I get a win, that's when things change, and that's when this delicate kind of makeup seems to be altered drastically, you know?
I think also if you wear a hat and you have glasses and facial hair, then they red bar you
fucked.
every game.
Absolutely fucked.
Yep.
They straight
confirm.
up
That's why
T-bone
Fallout
you.
doesn't grow a beard. It's not that he
Exactly,
can't.
dude.
It's
Can
a personal
confirm.
because
choice.
I know the secret, man. I know the secret.
But yeah, I think that week at Bungie, that article didn't really help. It was like a failure to acknowledge a problem that folks are experiencing. They felt a bit bummed out about that, and I think that caused some ripples. And it
This
still
week
is.
at Bungie certainly helped. So.
Yeah.
It was a great article.
Well, I mean, it was, Thanksgiving week.
It
Which, by
was,
the way,
it
I hope
was.
you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving,
yeah.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, happy
Yeah,
Happy Turkey Day!
Yeah.
Happy Turkey Day.
I feel
Silvery.
so odd. I've never ever celebrated it, but it's not that I'm not thankful. I'm hugely thankful. It's just
There you go.
we don't
Have
do
you
it over
ever-
here.
Have you ever stayed indoors all day and ate so much food that you're like, I just don't want to do anything, but I'm
That's Christmas.
happy
Got
right
the
now.
food
Yeah.
coma.
And
Well, there you go.
tiptoed
That's
around
Thanksgiving.
political issues so that your family doesn't get into arguments.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
meet with your
key
family
part,
and
too.
you're like, oh,
Ugh.
Trump's
2016,
president and stuff.
the year
Well,
that
that's
keeps
weird.
on giving.
Yeah.
Just eat a lot and drink your feelings away.
Uh-huh.
Oh, your brother is successful, and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I make YouTube videos.
Oh my
I've
gosh.
got 40,000 subscribers, Mom.
That's
Can I,
Thanksgiving. That's all it
did
is.
you any of you guys have to deal with the awkward moment when you're with family
Yeah.
and you have to explain what you do? So what are you doing nowadays? Well, you see,
Playing
I make
video
content
games.
for
Yeah.
YouTube. Oh, is that like radio?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
Dad, I have 90,000 subscribers on YouTube. Dad's like, well, what does that translate to in money? What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Actually,
It means my
Numbers,
wife
Mason.
brings home a lot more money than me, Dad. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, my dad is actually super into that stuff. I mean, he doesn't
Really?
follow it a lot, but he's super happy about me.
What's that like to have a supportive?
It's actually really cool. I don't know. When I was young, my father and we butted heads so much. We were just constantly in each other's hair all the time. And then you grow up and you go to college and he gets older, and I mean, you both kind of grow up, and we just I don't know, we're
This
cool
is
with each other now.
beautiful.
It's yeah, it's really nice, and we see each other when we can, but he's always like, hey, what's going on? Since the last time we talked, how many more YouTube subscribers do you have? I was like, oh, I only got a little bit more. And he was like, oh, it's still awesome. I'm so happy for you. And yeah, it's really cool. My dad's
My
like,
boy,
That's
he's
awesome.
famous.
internet stuff. Yeah.
So it's not like every Disney movie where your dad tells you can't be a YouTube star and you have to follow in the family business. Dad,
Until a
but I
crazy
gotta
Well, I
follow
mean,
my
it
dream.
was that way
And then
back
at the
when.
end, so it's the end of the Disney movie where
Yeah,
he's
it's
like, that's
this,
my
now we're
son.
At the end.
That's
We're at the end of the Disney movie now, which is cool. So.
I'm
Glad
just
you could
go-
skip that
Yeah,
climax.
I just saw Moana, so it's fresh
Ooh,
on
how
my
was it?
mind. It was pretty good. It was your classic Disney formula, but it was
Nice.
catchy. The Rock sang, so I'm always happy if The Rock sings.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Very
The
good
people's
call.
champ.
People's champ.
Where were we?
I don't know.
We were talking about Thanksgiving. We got
Thanksgiving.
way wrapped up.
We
Hey, how
we
about
went
this?
off
There's
on
a
classic
tournament
tangent.
coming up. How about that?
Yes, there is.
Back on Destiny.
Xbox. Yeah. This is
Xbox
this I'm hyped
tournament.
for.
Wait, I didn't get entered in
Yeah.
yet. Oh, geez. Did
Oh,
they not
jeez.
ask me to be part of it? I mean, I've been to the lighthouse once, so I think I'm gonna
They
have a
didn't
big
call
deal.
me.
Yeah.
Got
So
that
if you don't know
clipped
what we're
off his
talking
ticket.
about, this coming Saturday, I think. Pretty sure it's Saturday. December 3rd? Yeah, it's Saturday. December 3rd. Check out the Planet Destiny Twitch, where you are right now if you're watching us live. There's going to be a 4v4 Destiny tournament for Xbox One. If you haven't registered already, you're kind of
Late.
out, because they did qualifiers, which you
Yeah.
need to kind of participate in. But keep your eyes peeled for the next one if you want to play. And in the meantime, tune in this Saturday, because the tournament is basically going all day. It's going to be super hype. Best teams in the world, literally, no exaggeration, going to be playing for a cash prize. And Bones, who we haven't really acknowledged isn't here tonight.
Yeah, sorry.
We
I
totally
thought he
forgot
was
about
just
that.
being
Sorry about
quiet. Oh, gee.
Yeah, Bones wasn't
So
feeling well.
quiet you can't see him.
Yeah.
Rip. Hashtag feel better, Bones.
He's actually
That's
growing
weak, man.
Pokemons. I think he's had to take the night off because there's too much
That's
Pokemon
true. He's
that needs
farming
growing.
the Pokemon. But he
He's
and
gotta
I
catch up
are
to
going to be
Fallout.
doing commentary for the second half of the tournament. First half is going to be someone else. They're going to be doing commentary, and then second half, including the grand finals match, Bones and I will be doing live tournament shoutcasting right here on the Planet Destiny Twitch. So don't miss that. It'll be goddamned hype.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
100%.
The last
I'm
one
gonna
I
watch
was
just
like,
so I can heckle the commentators.
I broke my diet and bought munchies and sat down on the sofa and like made a whole like evening of it and watched the whole thing. Well, I'd say the half of it because it went on for, was it 12, 14 hours, maybe longer.
It was long.
So I slept and then I woke up. Unfortunately, the participants didn't get to do the same thing. Hopefully they will. They will split it on 2 days this weekend. Yeah, is it? It's not going to be like start and then end, so people have to stay up for 15 hours straight.
Ooh, yeah. We're working on that.
Squirm.
We're working on that. But they were aware, painfully aware.
Oh yeah, I
The
didn't
PlayStation
think.
tournament went on for way too
Yeah,
long.
That was a
people
long
were
tournament,
exhausted,
man.
but it was the first of its kind, though. So I mean, there's no like negative criticism towards the organisers. I think they did an absolutely fantastic job of that, and I 100%, support it. We just want more of it, really. It's
Knock on wood that this tournament will be fine.
No.
There you go. Thank you for knocking. But
No problem.
I've suggested, and we'll see how this Xbox tourney goes. But I'm like, guys, we have to break up tourney into 2 days. We have to do it. Like, if you watch I say this all the time. I'm a huge fan of competitive Super Smash Brothers. Love Smash
Yeah.
Brothers. I actually watched. There was a
Me too.
big tournament in Europe. Yesterday. I was watching
Yesterday.
live. Yeah, so good. But they break up the tournament into multiple days, usually 2, because it just goes for too long. Like, no matter how much you plan for things to go well, it's Mulligan's law, right?
Yeah.
Anything that it'll go wrong. It's gonna go wrong. So, I mean, we're gonna continue to learn from hosting tournaments on Planet Destiny or wherever in the community, and we're gonna do a better job. It's just gonna keep getting better and better.
excellent.
Better,
I mean,
maybe.
it needs more of them throughout the year.
Murphy's Law, excuse me. Sorry. That's what it was.
Mulligan's law.
Mulligan's
Is that
Law,
when
not
you get one law that's
Murphy's Law.
returned to the?
You get one more.
That's
you
it,
miss?
Mulligan's Law. Yeah. The law comes back to the chamber. Murphy's Law.
Oh my god.
So what time? What time does that go live on Saturday?
I'm not sure. That's bad of me for not knowing. I think 1 o'clock. I think 1 o'clock.
Okay, and that's Eastern.
I'll check on that. Yeah, check on that on Twitter. Or on the Planet Destiny website. I think we have it listed up there.
Yeah, you can't get that information on Planet Destiny's podcast, dedicated to Planet Destiny and Destiny.
God,
you got to go on.
Damn it! All right, I'm gonna
Gotta
look it up.
dive into the
Gonna look it up. Keep talking while I look it up.
Yeah, keep talking. It'll take him half a second to look it up with his
Yeah,
freak typing
God, making
fingers.
me do work over here.
I need some
know, I'm
lift
sorry.
music, like intermission. We need some
Yeah.
jazz or panpipes. A bit of take that
jazz.
played on the
Some chill hop.
panpipes.
So something I wanted to ask you guys about on the podcast this week. I made a video this week talking about some guns that are outside a little bit of the current meta. In Crucible, people generally use one of 4 weapons, being the Grasp of Malak, the Clever Dragon, your Palindrome, your Ias Luna, and some other fifth wheel that isn't as important. What are you guys' hidden gems in the Crucible? One of mine is the Parthian Shot. It is a high-impact pulse rifle that I absolutely adore. I got a gorgeous roll on it with perfect balance, counterbalance, and I want to say outlaw. And it's basically a laser beam. I was always really fond of the 2-tap potential of the high-impact pulses, and I loved them back in the day. I used to have a Haka, or a Lyudmila rather, that I used to love running around with. And this Parthian Shot, it really feels good to me. And even though it's not the tip top of the meta, I enjoy it.
Funny you
guys
should
got anything
say
like
that,
that?
my dear mate, because look, I'm looking at. I'm very sorry, but I'm looking at my Destiny item manager right here, and I've got Parthian Shop.
Are you doing a
go.
bit, or did you get extra British all of a sudden?
Put a little extra.
Listen to this,
extra powder
fellas,
on it,
right? Parthian Shop, Outlaw,
Outlaw.
Perfect Balance,
Outlaw.
and Counterbalance.
Hey,
There we go.
good times.
That's
Ooh.
So
basically my role.
no, I need to maybe take that for a spin.
I enjoy it. It's super good.
I got 2 little hidden gems that I use, but I can only use them in very certain circumstances. And I got a Distant Star and a Badger CCL. On long range maps like Skyline, great scout rifle map. If you don't go inside, do not go inside. Stay outside. Then Distant Star, Badger, all the heavy hitting scout rifles do well on maps like that. But I don't know what it is about this Badger though that it seems to hit a lot heavier than anything else. I don't know whether it's the perk combination. I haven't really looked into it, but it's got crowd control, perfect balance, and underdog.
Underdog.
Yeah, and that was.
So by the way,
fear.
real quick,
here
I
we
looked
go.
I looked it up.
We can stop pretending to talk,
Yeah,
guys.
December 3rd, December 3rd, which is this Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Boom.
There it is.
Got it.
There it is.
Drop
Check it
it.
out.
The kind of
There we
information
go.
you can only get here live.
But you can
on the
only
Planet
get
Destiny
it.
podcast.
Okay.
Or you
back-
can get it wherever Fallout looked it up.
Exactly. Back to weapon chat.
Yeah.
So there's
I'm
a
the
scout
wor-
rifle.
Oh.
There's a scout rifle that I got randomly a while ago, and I was like, yeah. The planets were
Good
aligned.
story.
Yeah, cool story, Fallout.
That's the end of it.
Yeah, that's it. No, the planets were aligned. I was feeling frisky. I was like, I'll use it. It's a gun called Not Like the Others.
Yes.
And I used it, and I was like, dude, this gun feels really good. Like, I'm not going to use it if I'm playing, like, 3v3 tournament style. But, like, just going into matchmaking, and, like, you just want to have fun. And, I mean, even beyond guns that are like, oh, it's a fun gun. It actually did pretty decent. And it
Yeah.
just felt really, really great. And I talked to Bones later. I said, dude, I have this scout rifle called Not Like the Others. And then he thought I was trolling him. He was like, are you kidding with me right now? Because I've been saying for like the past half a year that that's like my favorite gun in the game. And I was like, oh shit, dude. Like we had this huge...
I do not read your Twitter.
I wasn't reading up on
I
Bonesy's
don't
Twitter,
follow
and
you.
we had this huge conversation about how Not Like the Others is like this really fun scout rifle. It's just so enjoyable. Check that
As
out.
a matter of fact,
I did. I
as a
had
matter of
one.
fact, that was one of the weapons that I covered in the video. They're not like the others. It's a super strong scout. It's got a really fantastic base aim assist stat of like 69, which is super good, especially for that archetype. It's just an overall 69.
Can we stop talking about that one because I dismantled it the other week.
Oh,
Did
Why
you?
would you do that?
I had to make room. I had
Because it wasn't a matador.
Bullshit,
No,
dude.
it wasn't a medal.
Every-
No,
every
I had
time it's
a
not
rapier.
matador.
I had a rapier with the same roll that I had on that, minus the explosive round. So I kept that instead. I was in a real crisis with vault space, so that went. But it was the vendor roll, wasn't it? But the pre-Rise of Iron vendor roll for Not Like the Others. It had crowd control and
Yeah, it
explosive rounds and some other something and nothing on it.
Good times.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a super good scout. Super good scout.
I'm
Really
the,
enjoyed running
I'm,
around.
I'm the
Think of
absolute worst for which guns to use because I'm terrible, first of all, and I always perform terribly. But I frequently run around with a Zalo Supercell in PvP just because I like whenever it procs.
Oh,
and
you're
shoots
that
lightning
guy.
around. Yeah,
You're
I'm
that
one
guy.
guy. The only gun that I'm remotely effective with that isn't the exact meta is the Chaperone. I can do well with that.
Oh well, that's great.
I love the Chaperone. That's my favorite gun.
Me
in the
too,
game.
man.
Yeah.
I'm
Chaperone's
like,
a very fun
I'm
shot.
like
See,
a meta whore.
Well, meta whore.
Super meta horror. Because I mean, most of the times I'm playing with the goal of like, I want to win. Winning is fun to me.
Winning is everything.
I mean, like people are like, don't you get like bored of like playing to win all the time? Well, sometimes I do, and when that happens, I'll be like, time for No Land Beyond and sticky grenades. But most of the time, I'm playing to win. So
And that's
Well,
perfectly
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just how I like to
Yes.
play. But I mean, for the silly guns, my ultimate favorite silly gun is No Land Beyond. It's never going to change. It's just
The bloop.
dude. It's just too. It's too good. Like, it's just there's no better feeling than when you hit. You feel like such an asshole, but like in a hilarious way. You're like, just No Land Beyond. That guy, he's probably really mad. Like,
But it's not an
And when
easy gun
people-
to use, though. I don't
no,
think
it's
it's
not.
easy at all.
Yeah, but like it's just funny to me. I don't know what it is. It's funny to me. It's like walking up to somebody in a suit and tie and hitting them in the face with a custard pie. It's hilarious to me. Every
just
time
killed
you. Get
you.
a kill, every time you get a kill with No Land, I have pied you in the face, and I am giggling. Rest assured.
You know what the most, if we're going with fun, the most fun loadout to go in with is get a fire team of like a full fire team and all go in with hard lights and just turn it into a disco rave. I've done that many
On a
times.
silo.
That actually sounds
Do that on a
really
silo.
funny.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun to just have lights bouncing everywhere. Everybody.
Oh my
just
God.
going crazy.
You're reminding me of okay, so there was like a week in Destiny. Maybe I'll bring that back, where I went in with a team of 6, and we just did the most obnoxious stuff, like for the lulz, I guess. We went in as a team of all Striker Titans, each one of us with armamentarium and lightning grenades, and we just
Oh,
lit
you
the whole
Pieces
map.
of shit.
Yeah, it was so good. And we did it with gunslingers and trip mine grenades with the young Ahamkar's spine, just
Yes,
throwing them
it is.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun. And then one game, and we only did it. It was the dirtiest I've ever felt when playing Destiny. I had a team of Sunbreaker Titans.
Oh no.
Yeah, and we put on armamentarium and simmering flames. So like when you have your super, your
Yeah.
grenades charge, and we just never did our super. We was on this is so bad. I'm gonna get like stabbed. We were on Black Shield on the inside of the map, all of us, and we were just throwing never-ending grenades. Literally, when you have simmering flames on and 2 grenades, it's an insta charge between 6 people, insta charge. So we're throwing grenades at the doors, and the other teams are trying to rush in. And at the end of the game, I got 2 messages. One was like, "I hope you die. Like, I hope your family all gets hit by a car all at the same time." And then the other
Guardian
one,
down.
the other message was like, "That was the goddamn funniest shit ever. Like, GG, you're awesome. Thanks for making my night." It was super good.
And now
Oh.
a new widespread epidemic in Crucible is born.
Yeah.
It started here.
Yeah.
Oh
You
my
know who
God.
started this.
Dude, it's so funny.
That guy.
I was like, I could never do that
guy.
again. It was,
thing
I
that-
felt
Everyone
too
on the
good.
everyone on the other team was like, "Did they load half the match into Mayhem Clash? I don't understand what's happening."
Where are we right now?
The thing I'm finding funny at the moment is no matter what stream I watch, no matter who's streaming, whether it's a big one, a small one, it doesn't really matter. That if they're killed by something that's non-meta, everyone is absolutely delighted. It's not
Oh,
like,
that's nice.
God damn it, I was killed
That
by a
is
man. It was like, oh my God, I
delighted.
was just killed with hard light.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
What?
interesting.
Oh, please kill me with that again. Like they're genuinely delighted to be killed by something that is like totally non-meta. Like going back to No Land Beyond, it's like I suppose there is a kind of sneaky enjoyment. It's like I just killed that gentleman there with something that resembles a kayak or a paddle. It's completely non-meta. But yeah, man,
Meta-to-tur.
meta.
Mediterranean.
It's fun to play Goofy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it can be.
It's so
Off the
fun to
cuff,
play Goofy.
Mega's like Mediterranean. You just came out with a word that I'm going to have to use in daily conversation every time.
That's
You're a
what I do.
Mediterranean. All you matadors,
Wow.
everything. That's
Oh
the thing
my
though.
gosh, is that
with,
going to be the thing?
with weapons though,
Just
with
call me-
any FPS game, the good stuff bubbles to the top. Every time it's like people will complain about. There's complaints about. Oh, I'm sick of getting killed by a palindrome or a clever dragon or this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, the good stuff always bubbles to
Dude,
the top. And
that's
when it
this-
bubbles to the top and you nerf it, something else bubbles to the top. Like every
gonna
time,
happen
there's
every
always going to
time.
be. So I
had
don't
a-
think the focus is on the actual weapons itself. I think it's
No.
a different thing.
And it's nice to have variety. I actually posted a tweet about that a long while ago that was super talked about. It was I basically posted a like a PowerPoint graphic that you would see in like a board
remember this.
Yeah, I'll try and dig that up later.
Yeah.
But it's basically like it's a never-ending cycle, and it's something that you have to accept on some level. People are going to complain that whatever weapon is dominating the meta,
Yeah.
because good weapons dominate the meta, and then it reaches a point where if too many people think it's unbalanced or complain about it or whatever, or the usage numbers, Bungie's like, too many people are using this gun, then there's a nerf. And when the nerf happens, it's not like everything is going to be great forever. Like, good players are going to find what the next optimal weapon is going to be, because on paper there's always going to be a quote best choice, and when they find the new best choice, they're going to start using it again.
And
the cycle happens again.
There has to
There
be.
has to be.
Like, consistency. The people who want to succeed or get that rush from doing well or perform well or put the time in to get better, they want something that is consistent and reliable. And I think this is what we're kind of lacking at the moment, and why we've got a lot of negative feedback is consistency is an issue at the moment. We have like mechanics like bloom. I understand why this was attempted, but I just don't think it has a place in the game. I'm a hand cannon guy from day one. When you first started Destiny up and you got to pick a weapon from the gunsmith, I'm like,
I did hand cannon too.
Hand cannon.
Same
I
thing,
grabbed
yep.
that. Do
You
you
were so
know
bad at the
why?
beta.
Do you know
I wanted to be
why
like-
though?
I wanted to be like a space cowboy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Dude, I wanted to be a space cowboy.
No, do you know why
They
though?
suck
Because
so hard in beta.
Yeah. I played Battlefield 4 a little bit. I was a huge Battlefield 3 fan on PC, and Battlefield 4 just wasn't great until they introduced the Deagle. But it was overpowered as hell when it first came into Battlefield 4. It was like so overpowered, but I had the most fun I'd ever had in BF4 with the Deagle.
Same here.
So I think that influenced my choice when I was standing in front of the gunsmith the very first time. I'm like, oh, if that's
Probably.
anything like a Deagle, I'm going to love it. But I didn't really touch PvP for quite some time. I think it was about a month. I was playing Destiny for a month before I touched PvP. But even then, I tried hand cannons and I stuck with them even when they were bad and had really bad accuracy problems in the air and all that kind of vibe. But I stuck with them, and I still love them now. It's unique to Destiny. Auto rifles, I understand, folks like a good, semi-automatic or a full auto rifle. The only thing for me in Destiny is it doesn't have those addictive mechanics that games like Battlefield had. You had to master the burst fire and the tap fire if you wanted to get a consistent kill at range. Destiny didn't have that. So it was just a case of hold down the trigger and hope for a kill.
Yeah. Auto rifles are kind of like
meh.
boring to me.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
the other
I
folks
use
love them though. That's the thing.
Some
and
people
I can,
do like them.
Yeah, and that I can see. Like if hand cannons went completely crap now, I would probably enjoy PvP a lot less because that's my favorite weapon type. So
Yeah.
Man.
But yeah, I can understand folks who like auto rifles are like, no, god damn it, it's pulse rifles, hand cannons, god damn it. But all the good stuff always bubbles to the top. It's gonna happen. So if you nerf whatever it is,
To quote the great Macho Man Randy Savage, the cream always rises to the top. The cream of the crop. The cream of the crop.
So glad you guys
That's
know
correct.
that.
Of course.
You got some wrestling fans here.
But I mean, back to what we were saying about the good guns, the cream rising to the top. Because it's math, it's numbers. That's all it is. Because it is. I mean, because
it is. I know.
Because the reason that the palindrome is one of the top primaries is because it has the fastest time to kill. It's a mix between two things, isn't it? It's a mixture between fastest time to kill and easiest weapon to use. It's those
it
things
has
together.
to have the feel.
It has to be
That's
easy to
important.
use because on paper, like you have No Land Beyond would basically be the best primary in the game because it has a zero, like an instant time to kill, but it's a difficult weapon to use effectively, so it's not dominating the meta. So it has to be two things: how easy is the gun to use, and how optimal is the time to kill. And when you combine those things together, you get the palindrome. Because you have a 3-shot kill with one headshot to body.
Yep.
And you can use it. I mean, it's not tremendously difficult to use. So that's why it's there. And
I think
you're abs-
Fallout has a journal somewhere that just says like Mr. Fallout Palindrome all over it.
Yep.
Just hard strong.
I write
around
my
it.
girlfriend's name, which is the palindrome in my diary next to those weird
Got a little heart on it.
S's. What were those S's that everyone like drew?
The awesome S.
over there's
where you have to
notebooks
draw
in
the
middle
you
school.
have to draw the
hell
three
was that?
lines.
I don't know what the hell that was.
It was.
Why did we
beautiful.
draw those?
I don't know.
Fads.
Well, I mean, if your name starts with an S, like some people, you had a reason to do it. They were amazing. It made having a name that started with an S cool. It's the highlight of
early
my
hipsters.
life. Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. Whenever it comes to a meta, the competitive players, they're always going to try to find the gun that kills the fastest and kills the most consistent.
Yeah.
That's what every meta comes down
Consistency
to.
is
Right
the
now,
key word there.
yeah,
It's like
it kills quickly. It's consistent.
it means I want to get
That's the
stuff done. I want to get it done. That guy, that gentleman standing over there, needs to be dead. That's
What's gonna do it reliably
How
the
can I
most number of times?
Easily kill him. Easily? That's a word, right?
Easily.
We do
How
need
can
we
I
do need more.
easily kill
Hashtag
that
easily.
person?
We do need some more consistency in the Crucible. I think that's another
I can agree with that.
source of negative criticism that's been bubbling around for the moment. Consistency. We need the more of that, because primary weapons at the moment, whether they needed buffs or not, like things can be horrendously inconsistent. And I go back to the days where I really concentrated. I mean, Crucible has occupied a lot of my time in concentrating to get better, but I think Battlefield 3 was the first game that I'm like, right, I am going to improve if it kills me, because I really enjoyed the gunplay. The gunplay was so addictive, and I think I always have that as a frame of reference, because DICE really worked very well at getting this very addictive mechanic to gunplay that at first it's very elusive. You think, well, hold down the trigger, that'll get things done, but no, the more you hold down the trigger, there was literally a crazy amount of randomization on stuff, so you had to keep things very focused and burst. AEK, M16s, like that, those were dominating the pretty much every domination team deathmatch game mode in Battlefield 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
And can we start a movement, by the way? I don't mean to cut you off, sorry.
that's cool.
But can we start a movement? Like, usually people are pretty good about it, but I see people like shaming others for using the meta. And you see that a lot in like post-game messages and stuff like that. It's like, way to use the palindrome, you bitch, or like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Not good enough to use a real gun.
Yeah.
Why would I
yeah,
put
yeah.
myself at a disadvantage? But I mean,
That's
I
what
understand.
people
Yeah,
don't
I understand both
understand.
sides of the coin, though. True Vanguard did a great video recently about he wants a bit more variety.
Don't we all?
Yeah, but the only problem with having variety in a game like Destiny is that is going to introduce a lot more balancing issues than anything else.
Because it's very hard.
Yeah,
The more guns
yeah.
you have in a game, it's like do you know how impossible it is to make every gun competitively viable? I would love if that were the case, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that would be so hard because you're trying to make every gun having
Different.
like
You
a
have to make
relatively equal
they-
time to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you
But
have an
also
auto
you have to
rifle,
make them all different, like different types of all of them.
they have
which
to
is
have
just
an
a
equal
nightmare.
time to kill, but they function differently. It's like my
I don't
brain
think it's
when you
hard.
Maintain that
it's-
identity.
I don't think it's
yeah.
hard for a developer to do. It's just kind of bland. Take Titanfall 1, for example. They did a fantastic job of getting pretty much all the guns very well balanced within each other. So, like, obviously there was popular guns, like the carbine.
Smart pistol.
Yeah.
Oh.
But, I mean, I loved that thing. I was in the whole boat of I didn't think it was overpowered. It was just really fun. Because a carbine could literally shit all over anyone using a smart pistol. It was just annoying to be killed by a smart pistol.
It was, yeah.
But they did a really good job of balancing all the weapons, like, within an inch of
Yeah.
each other. But
was pretty good.
it was really, like, bland. Like it was such a bland
kinda
thing.
bland.
So
Yeah.
having loads of weapons that can have like varying
really
different
hard.
effective characteristics, it's all about choice. That's a bit more authentic. You've got an arsenal available at your fingertips. Of course, there's going to be weapons that aren't as good as other ones, and
Maybe if there were like ways other ways that guns could be good. I'm just spitballing. But I mean, right now, the
Yeah.
only way that we look at guns, literally, like the only two things, it's like, does it have a good time to kill? Is it consistent?
Yeah.
Those are the only,
Yep.
or like, is it
That's
easy
it.
to use? Those are the
Yep.
only things that we
Yep.
look at. There's no team comparison based on weapons. Wouldn't it be cool if it was like, oh, if you have this gun on your team, then your entire team runs like 5% faster or
That'd be
something
cool.
like that.
Yeah,
Then be like,
extra
okay, well,
little
we need
perks.
one person on our team to have that gun because that would be, we need that. Or like if you have this gun on your team, then your team regenerates their health like 5% faster or something like that. It's like, oh, well, do we take the gun that makes us run faster, or do we use the health regeneration gun? Which gun do we use? And like just more stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe I could
don't
ruin
know.
Destiny with thoughts like this.
It could, because that's the Overwatch mechanic,
you want,
isn't it?
like,
Like it's very
interesting-
team focused, and if you're not
Yeah.
all in the knowledge of each other's loadouts, then you may be operating at a severe disadvantage. So I mean, I think that's great for a game to have, but I'm just not too sure if that's going to be a good thing for Destiny. Really, Destiny should be a game that you can play solo,
Yeah.
even though playing solo Crucible is horrendous at the moment.
It can
though
be.
It's horrible. But
It is
should be,
horrible.
yeah.
I was gonna say
Stop it.
if you want to look for, in my opinion, a really well-designed weapon that's both good meta-wise and provides a really unique function, I think the Mida multi-tool is probably one of the most perfectly designed, unique weapons
Yeah.
Destiny had ever seen.
Yeah.
It was for a long time described as the perfect exotic because it wasn't point for point better than everything else, but it was very good. It was super unique. It provided a specific function.
Yep.
And I wish we had more guns designed like that. I think
Me too.
Mida multi-tool, maybe Red Death, back before that archetype got nerfed into the ground.
Yeah.
Those were guns that they were good. They weren't the best, but they provided a unique niche that made it worthwhile to use them in the Crucible.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more stuff like that.
I would too.
Yeah,
That would be fun.
It's.
Want.
I think. See, Fallout. You described the guns as easy to use, but to me, it's also fun to use. Those kind of go along together. And people send you messages when you follow the meta, like you're using an X-ray scanner from Perfect Dark, and it's just like there's no, skill to it or
I
something.
remember that
Like,
gun.
yeah, like it's just because you're using it in a meta, like there's still skill, and the
Odd
guns
Job
are
and
fun
GoldenEye.
to use.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Look, if you used Odd Job and GoldenEye, look, I will support your right to play as whoever you want, but you're a scumbag.
Yes.
You know what you did.
See, Odd Job was banned. I used to play in GoldenEye tournaments. Aren't I cool?
You look exactly like
Same here.
someone who would play in a golden
Wow.
tournament, I would guess.
What's
Is
the
that
easiest
as Odd
way
Job or
for
what?
me to say fuck you?
Is it an insult, or maybe
Thank
it's hey? You just assumed it was an
You
insult.
look
Be
like
proud
the
of
kind
you.
of guy who would
exactly.
give me his
Look
lunch
like
money.
a GoldenEye player.
You jerk.
I was
But,
very fat in school. I would never have given you my lunch money. You'd have to pry it out of my cold dead hand.
I feel like you and I would be pried into the locker together. Buddy. But in GoldenEye tournaments, Odd Job is banned for the only reason that there is literally no reason to not play Odd Job. So if you're in
Yeah.
a tourney, everyone plays Odd Job. So it's like just like no, just stop.
Yep.
Because you're gonna play. Everyone's gonna play him. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
I get that. I want to see that. I played GoldenEye, but I never played it on the. I played multiplayer against friends in the house that I lived in while I was at university.
Yeah.
I don't think we had internet or anything like that. Did it even use internet?
No,
it didn't,
no,
did
no.
it? No,
No,
so it was
no,
like
no, local.
LAN
It's
or
touch
like
multiplayer.
local
Yeah.
stuff.
Those
Yeah.
times.
No
But
LAN.
we-
This was
Just
the-
one console, one couch.
Yeah,
Yep.
we played like in the
prehistoric
house together
times.
against each other, and those were the days. Those were the days. I bought my N64 out of my
Yeah.
student loan. It was the naughtiest thing I'd ever did in my life. But the whole
That's
house
the
was
naughtiest
very
thing
happy.
you've ever done in your life.
Yeah.
What a
bad boy.
What a rebel. Yeah.
Hey
What a
ladies, I
rebel
used
over
my
here.
student loan for non-approved purposes.
out
Want
for
to come
this
play
guy.
some Mario Kart at my place?
I bought Mario Kart as well, and Star Fox. Wasn't Star
Oh,
Fox
right, baby.
awesome?
Star Fox 64 is
I'm
the
a bad
best
boy.
game on the N64
That is a
for
good
single player. at least,
Yeah.
bar none.
It's a good game.
Agreed.
In my top 5.
Yes,
Agreed.
it is one of the best games. It holds up like perfectly. The controls are fluid, and it's always
very good.
fun. Yeah. Sorry,
very
I don't want to turn this into the Star Fox podcast, but that's one of my favorite games of all time.
Why not?
Do it.
Yes.
But
For
going
love.
back to fun guns, though, I
Yes,
found a
fun
smart
guns.
pistol in Titanfall. Loads of fun. I thought, wow, what the Respawn have really gone bold here and put a gun with like masses of aim assist.
People complained. Okay, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, if you've
Yeah.
never played Titanfall 1, there's a gun, smart pistol, and it was a primary that you could use. And if you aim down sight, it's like a regular pistol. You just shoot normally. But if you're hip firing the gun, someone comes into your screen, whatever. You just don't do anything, and your gun starts to lock onto them automatically without you doing anything. And you wait like maybe a second and a half, and then you get the full lock on, pull the trigger, doesn't matter where you're aiming, bullet
And
hits them in the
dead.
head,
Yeah.
dead.
They die.
But it
And you
has
can do
there
that
was
with
3 little
multiple
lock-on
enemies.
points. There was like 2 on the body, 1 on the head. And that you had to wait for those 3 to get
To be
on
like, one,
before you get a
two,
kill.
Lock, and then when
Yeah.
it locks, then they're
And you
dead.
pull the trigger once, and but it had
people-
a very short range on it.
Yeah.
It was like the range was really short.
And
But
people complained.
oh God, did people?
But they
complain
shouldn't
about
have,
that.
because it
No.
wasn't a good gun. Like, if you watch Titanfall tournaments, nobody
Yeah.
uses
They used the carbine, the
smart pistol,
RC
use the carbine.
Yeah.
because the smart pistol, it took too long. Like, by the time I lock onto you to kill you, you would have killed me twice.
Yeah, because the fastest time to kill was
Yeah.
the carbine.
And there's so much parkour in Titanfall. Good
Yeah.
lord, it's like Mirror's Edge on crack. Like, you're bouncing everywhere. It's like
guns,
you're
yeah.
trying to get a lock on, and you're already behind my back, snapping my neck.
But
it just doesn't work.
With all those mechanics in there, the fact that it wasn't the best, it wasn't a top tier meta weapon, it was huge amounts of fun, and you could
It
still
was.
use it effectively in non-competitive, non-tryhard-esque kind of lobbies. It was loads and loads of fun, and it was very unique. And the criticism, the PC gaming crowd were like so offended, like, how dare you have an auto lock on, this is preposterous. And I was like, no, this is fun, and it's unique to one game. Let them be new, let them have something that's fresh to the game. Like, and there is no return. I haven't really played much Titanfall 2, but there's no smart pistol, is there?
No, there's not.
I thought there was, in some capacity, not as a primary.
It's
Like
it's
an-
not.
like an
I-
Is it a
ability or
pickup?
something?
I don't know. I
gotta
haven't
talk to
played it
Bones.
yet,
Bones
you know.
plays Titanfall 2. I haven't played
Bones
it.
is in the chat,
I think
actually. I've
it's
just seen it.
it's
Bones,
some
we got
there,
smart
variant of
pistol.
it.
in the chat.
It's definitely not the Titanfall 1.
No,
smart
it's not the
pistol.
same, but I think it's in the game somewhere.
That's a shame. That is a shame.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Can we talk about something else controversial? Why not throw in some controversy into our podcast? Why the hell not?
Why not?
I want
Shotguns don't need a nerf.
want weapon reforging to come back.
Yes.
Oh,
please.
no.
Take your
Please,
shots. Take
yeah.
your shots.
I am.
Okay, so here's
Yeah.
here's
Here,
here's
here.
the, because I've talked about this so many times, and I understand the upside, I think, and the downside, I think. So the biggest complaint against weapon reforging is that it makes the meta very prominent and very bland, because
Everyone can achieve it.
you get the good guns and you just roll the crap out of them. You get the best perks on the guns, and then you go into PvP, and that's all you see. And I understand that, but the thing that weapon forging brought was fair gameplay,
Yes.
because for so long people were gypped out of like not having good shotguns, because if you didn't have a good shotgun, you were just screwed. You know what I mean? Like, year one players could re-roll, and players who were newer couldn't re-roll old guns. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it sucks to have like a bland meta where everyone uses the same thing, but what's the alternative with no weapon reforging? You have to grind out like a madman forever.
And there's still no
and you
guarantee.
might not. There's no guarantee.
still
There's
no
no
guarantee.
guarantee. You could
So how do
literally be
you-
grinding. I mean, I had Taken King, literally the whole of Taken King, not a single party crasher dropped in Crucible. I played hundreds of hours of Crucible,
Yep.
and I got one literally at the end of the lifespan of Taken King.
And that
You
sucks
know?
for people like you, because now pretend you're going into trials and you're trying to get to the lighthouse because it's
At a
fun
disadvantage.
to do, and you're at a disadvantage at no fault of your own, an RNG disadvantage, and that's not fair. Someone has a leg up on you gameplay wise just because they got really lucky and just fell into like a god roll party crasher or a god roll matador. That's not balanced in a way.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a bad thing. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, everyone's running around with the same thing, but that's the same complaint that we have now. Everyone's running around with the same thing. It's just that you had
It's going to happen anyway.
you had the opportunity to attempt outside instead of like just grinding. I mean, you had to grind anyway for materials. I had no weapon parts. I had no modes of light because I was trying to get the re-rolls on the shotguns and on the primaries, everything. I just thought that mechanic was great. The fact that it increased the gameplay. It's like,
great.
I need to re-roll my party crasher. I need to go out there and farm Vault of Glass on heroic to get like 25k glimmer inside of an hour, and that still took an hour.
Yeah, it's still.
Here's
I mean,
how,
I just
here's how I
never.
imagine Bungie is right now. They're going to hear that Fallout is suggesting we bring back, reforging weapons. They're going to be like, oh yeah, people want that again. Okay, how can we implement it? Make it cost silver dust.
Oh no!
That's what's going to happen.
That would be a goddamn nightmare. But the bottom line is, I just don't want players to be at a disadvantage for no fault of their own. I want even playing ground for everybody. I think it sucks more than anything to be even at a minor disadvantage for something out of your control.
Nothing that. No fault of your own. And I'm actually really glad you brought this up, because I used to talk about this with a friend of mine, and how a lot of people railed against the option to reforge your weapons because it did make the meta stale. Everybody had the meta. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, and that's going to happen anyway. Reforging just sped that process up.
Yeah.
People are still going to farm for that perfect roll Matador. Just like in year one, they farmed for that perfect roll shot package Matador.
Yeah.
And they're still going to go for that even without the reforging option. And I don't think I'd be upset if we saw a system sort of like what we have with the raid armor come into effect.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Where you can reroll stuff.
Yeah.
I would, or if they want to make it even more direct, maybe something akin to the system that the Division has. In the Division, you can kind of reroll perks on weapons and armor, but you can only reroll one perk. Once you reroll it, that's the only perk that you can reroll on that weapon.
I mean, a friend of mine suggested that very same thing. That the only problem with that is that, like, for example, there's a lot of folks grinding for Lunas in Classic, and because it's still great. I mean, there's the argument that people think, well, it looks better than a palindrome. I like the look of this, or it feels better. And, I mean, it's a great gun, and it's like a very desirable gun. Now, I've not had many of the things over the course since they were introduced, but I would say 98% of them have been unusable rolls. Like, there is literally, handkerchiefs that would do more damage or be more effective, So, but the thing is, everything on it was garbage. So if you can only reroll one perk isn't going to bring it in line with it being like a usable, weapon. That's the only problem with that.
And again, like, people bringing up the thing where it's like, well, Fallout, what about it's just going to be boring? Everyone's going to roll their weapons for the most optimal perks, and everyone's going to use the same thing.
Way.
Well,
it's
already that way. B would make it more fair for everybody.
Yeah.
And like, C, look, it sucks in a way that everyone is using the same thing on their guns because it's like hands down the best option. But that's the player, that's not our fault. And I love Bungie to death forever, but like, it's their fault for not having perks that are like competitively like, why would anyone ever want a shotgun with oiled frame ever? Why is that perk
why is it even
available on a shot? Like, oh wow, reduced range for faster reload speed? Sign me up. Like, there needs to be more perks. I mean, like, there doesn't need to be, but like, if you're complaining about how the meta is going to be like, oh, everyone uses the same thing and that's boring. Well, I mean, it's not our fault. We're the player. We're here to use what is effective, and we're not going to use dumb perks that are equivalent to shooting ourselves in the foot. I never use a shotgun with a reduced range perk ever. So, like, don't give me the option to do it, because I'm not going to do it.
That highlights another issue entirely in the conversation about weapon perks. Which ones are the best? Why don't people use Guerrilla Fighter? Well, one, because Guerrilla Fighter is mostly terrible, and two, the game isn't built around cover shooting. There's no reason to use Guerrilla Fighter. There's not enough areas in the game that you can really use Guerrilla Fighter.
You're not
And there are so
constantly
many
using
perks
the
like
great
that in
cover
the game.
mechanics of Destiny.
Dude, there
All
are
the
still
time.
people.
They're
I will
everywhere.
bet you money right now that there are people, and this isn't a shot at anybody. This
No.
is just the way Destiny is.
Yeah.
There are people in the
Yeah.
Twitch chat right now. Okay, so people listening to this podcast, either live in Twitch chat or later on iTunes or whatever. Did you know that in Destiny, there's a cover system?
Yes.
Did you know this? If you walk up to a piece of like whatever, like a concrete barrier on the ground or like something, and you go up to it and you crouch. So you're crouching in front of this concrete barrier. Now, without touching the crouch button again, hold down the trigger for ADS, and your Guardian will automatically pop up like in Gears of War, and when you let go, they will crouch back down automatically. Did you know that was a thing? Because I guarantee there's a whole damn handload of people right now
I'm
listening like,
positive
are
there
you
are,
serious, Fallout?
because it was
2?"
only
It
like
is,
4
yeah.
months ago that I even realized that it was in there. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
I
glad it's
play
in
all
the
the fucking
game.
time.
Because like we need more mechanics to make the game cool and interesting.
Yeah.
Nobody
But the thing is,
uses
no one
that
uses
feature.
it. No
'Cause
one
it's not
uses
good.
it because if they do, their enemy is going to jump over their head and pogo
Yeah.
shotgun them in the fucking head. You know?
Hey, you know, it's really sad because Guerrilla Fighter got this huge buff a couple of months back. I remember listening to John Wisniewski talk about this on the Crucible Radio podcast, where it basically eliminates recoil and like gives you extra accuracy and all kinds of crazy things, but there's nowhere to use it in Destiny because Destiny's not built around it.
It's not a
There's
cover
literally
based
look. There's
shooter.
read Twitch chat. Nick the Great. Destiny has
no
a
way.
cover system? No, I didn't know that. I
Dude,
did
no
not
way.
know
There's
that.
cover
Dude,
mechanics in
no
Destiny.
way.
It's real.
I'm telling
Yeah.
dude, if someone's saying I'm gonna try it right now.
Yeah, I thought it was a
telling you,
glitch. That's my.
It's a thing.
It's
But people don't use it because there's like, why would you? Destiny's such a mobile game. I
Yeah,
love it
there's-
for its mobility. It's great. Like you can Warlock surf and Titan
Yeah.
skate, and you can.
Yeah.
Yep.
How often are you in a
crazy-
fight where you're crouching and just
Yeah, no, it
peeking
just
up
doesn't
behind
happen.
barriers?
Like you're
What
running
the
and you're
fuck?
crouch sliding. I
Yes.
love how
Yep.
mobile Destiny is. It's such an awesome. It just feels right. Out of
Yeah.
every FPS I've ever played, it just feels so damn good.
Oh yeah.
It's just because of how well it's designed. You're like, who the hell has time for this fucking cover mechanic, dude?
It's just not that
never gonna come
effective.
up.
Yeah, like it really isn't. Like anchoring yourself to a piece of cover to try and use that mechanic is just not going to be a very effective combat strategy.
I use it against strike bosses sometimes.
Well, yeah, it may have more purchase
the
in
only
PvE,
time-
perhaps.
In the saber strike, you can right when he comes
Yeah.
out. There's a little area that
Yeah,
shanks
little
come out
gates that
of.
come up.
I like to crouch in front of that just for the sake of people seeing me. Like, what the hell's that guy doing? That's really it. It's not a good mechanic. It's
Bones.
It's
Bones
it's
in the
not
Twitch
built
chat
around cover shooting.
says there's a great spot on Widow's Court for Guerrilla Fighter. I actually think I know what he's talking about. Up on Perch. You know the Perch on Widow's Court? If you know your callouts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it Perch anyway. Up by that like rocky area. Because if you can crouch, it's
Oh,
just like the
yeah.
perfect height for like, you know, just
a nice
being a
little
little bit
head
out of
glitch
cover. Also up by Photo Hut. Because you can crouch and then like you're totally protected. Yeah, Photo Hut. I call it the hut. You know, you're up by that wall, you can crouch, you're protected, and then you aim up, and then you're like just over the tip of the wall, and then you can crouch down again. So there are opportunities for Guerrilla Fighter, but it really doesn't come up hardly ever.
Yeah.
He says it's on a broken car in Main Street. So that's his.
Okay,
That sounds
I'm
like
sure
a
that's the only
Broadway
one.
production.
There's no other.
This sounds like a
Broken car
musical.
in Main
Damn it, Fallout.
Starting Saturday.
But yeah,
But yeah, you know, it's just the other reason. It's not just the guns and their stats that build the meta. It's the perks on those weapons, and you don't see meta door 64s without max range, without rifled or reinforced barrel. And I wish that some of the other perks on these guns were as good. Like, I had the same argument with a friend of mine. Well, not really an argument. We were agreeing on it. They keep nerfing rocket launchers with grenades and horseshoes because everybody uses grenades and horseshoes.
Why would you use any other perk?
Why would
Yeah.
there's
That
no
gun.
other perk that's as good as grenades and
Yeah, I
horseshoes?
mean, like maybe if they took grenades and horseshoes away, you'd use like cluster bomb. Maybe.
Cluster bomb,
'Cause, you know,
yeah.
you fire it in, you get a good chance of getting.
And it's not
this
so
ladder
much that
kill or
grenades and
whatever.
horseshoes is just far and away the best thing there. It's just that none of the other perks are worth using.
Yeah.
What else are you going to really want? Are you going to run life support on a rocket launcher? No, don't.
Heavy ammo, I mean, heavy is like in a really odd, obscure place though, because like, I mean, just watch any stream, just watch people play. Rumble, the general consensus is heavy doesn't need to be in Rumble. That seems to be the general consensus from most players is, do we really need heavy in this game mode? I mean, surely every game mode is actually a sub-game mode to get the heavy. You know, like Control should really be get the heavy
kinda.
or lose the game.
Yeah.
You know, because if you don't, it's to your own detriment. And I think heavy doesn't really have much of a place. But there's someone at Bungie's like, no, heavy. I love rocket launchers. You must be able to tote your rocket launcher in any game mode you please. You know,
Let's give one player in Rumble the ability to kill everyone else in 3 or 4
They've
shots.
done a good job of reducing. Do you remember original? Year One
yeah, I know.
Destiny, where
It's
was
got
like
better. Yeah,
heavy
like,
ammo every 30 seconds or whatever. You turn around, hey, heavy ammo
And when you
inbound, and
kill
then you kill them,
somebody
you can
who's
pick
using
it up.
heavy,
Oh my god,
They dropped.
Just
Oh
a
my god!
rocket
Running through an
launcher
entire
orgy.
game with nothing but Thunderlord was
But
the greatest
holy
thing
shit,
in
that
year
was
one.
awesome. But
Yeah.
man, I'm going over in my head because we're having this conversation of like, why would you use this perk on a gun competitively? Because it's never going to be a good perk for PvP. Like, just think about sniper rifles. Like, why would I use, like, what scope is it? I don't even know. Like the Eagle scope. It's like, yeah,
Eagle Eye?
I'm sniping in PvP. I must have a scope with a 84 times zoom magnification. Like, who is using
I want to
that
see
scope?
the fear in their helmet.
when the
Yeah.
maps, when the maps are so small, you don't want a scope that's more suitable for viewing constellations in the sky.
Yes.
And looking
Yeah,
at the,
I don't want to see Haley's
Orion's
Comet.
belt.
Like, every top level sniper in this game in PvP, they all use the lowest
Yeah.
zoom possible on their sniper.
it's because the
Man,
maps are too
There's
small.
got to be a way
you
to,
know.
to mix
The
up,
maps are
like,
very tiny.
there's got to be a way to mix this up. But it's not for us to decide.
That's not our job. Yeah.
No,
That's not
but we
our
can
job.
discuss it, can't we?
We can discuss it.
We
Sure.
can explore. But the
can
weapon
explore.
reforging, I thoroughly agree, should come back. I think
I do miss that.
it allows the player to have a little bit more control over the loadouts that they use. Like Luna's, the drop rate on these things now is really, really, really low. And when you get one, I've seen this happen so many times for other folks as well. When they finally get one, it's completely unusable. There is too much perk variation and too little specific perk variation that actually makes the gun usable. Like the argument is rifle barrel or brace frame. You know, that I see a lot of people trying to prove that brace frame is just as viable as rifle barrel because of stability and damage drop off and all this kind of thing. But then most folk are like, no, rifle barrel. It has to be rifle barrel. Here's the thing. Rifle barrel and me with hand cannons, I'm not allowed that perk. I'm not allowed it. Literally. And look in the chat. I'm not really bothered about look in the chamber. I used to be because I wanted to try it. You know, I wanted to try look in the chamber on a legendary hand cannon. I got my first one a couple months ago. And I've been playing since release. Literally, first legendary hand cannon with luck in the chamber, and I got my first one a couple of months ago. I've been denied. And it's the same with rifle barrel. A rangefinder, never had rangefinder on a legendary until a vendor sold it. And this kind of highlights the problem that, you know, okay, I love hand cannons. They're my favorite.
Why do you like this game store? You have all the worst luck. Jesus.
Well, yeah.
Everything
This
that
does
happens
not
to
seem
you, I'm
to
like,
like
that
yeah.
can't all happen to one man. How is this possible?
Yep. Now you know where I'm at with that.
Yeah.
That's why I vote for reforging. It's like give the player some control, but it's not just me. You know, there's so many other people that feel exactly the same way, and the fact that Fallout brought it up, you know, it's like okay, this is viable. So yeah, bring back weapon reforging.
Bring
Here,
it
here.
back, please.
I'm slamming my
I
gavel.
think it could work.
Whatever that is,
Yeah.
I don't
He's
know what
making
that
it
is.
so.
That's the Planet Destiny court.
Yeah.
Motion passes.
We got time for questions, you think?
Oh, we have, man.
No, this
do
week we
believe we
just
do.
don't. We're just not.
No,
gonna do
no
it this
questions.
week. Yeah. Okay. Yes,
We've
of
rambled
course
enough.
we
Hit us.
have time.
End it.
We've rambled for far enough. Hit us up in Twitch. You guys keep your eyes peeled for good questions in the
questions.
Twitch chat, will you?
Yes.
Hopefully, Pokemon themed.
I'm gonna put my eyes
Questions.
on the chat.
Oh,
Here we go.
Eyeball.
Here's a good one. Question from Inclement Beauties. I don't know if you know who that is. That's a group of. It's an all-girl competitive Destiny clan.
Yeah.
They're pretty awesome. Question from Inclement Beauties: will Bones continue on his Destiny career or pursue a life as a rapper? And I know he can't answer that question because he's not here.
It's in the
But
chat.
I will
though.
answer,
it for him.
with a
Yes.
with an absolute yes.
Okay.
He's also going to be a Zoolander style male model.
Oh, yes.
It's true because he's ridiculously
He's got the
good.
face
But
for it.
why male model? Sorry. just let me go.
You serious, Mega? You just,
I just
said that like a
just
second.
explained it to you.
All is all.
Oh gosh.
You wanted a Pokemon question. Someone did ask, what's your favorite Pokemon starter?
Oh,
Starter.
starter. Oh, that's a good one. Probably. I gotta think about this one for a minute. Hold on.
I mean, I already answered my favorite Pokemon was Typhlosion, so
It
should
might be.
obvious.
Yeah.
It might be Blaziken,
Oh,
Ooh,
the
interesting.
banned.
fighting chicken who
Ubers.
will beat the crap out of you, dude.
Banned. You can't have it. It's
He
banned.
is actually banned. I'm surprised
He
you knew
is.
that, Link.
Speed boost, man. That
Dude.
thing is busted.
Dude, I
is
have so much to talk with you later.
Oh gosh. Now see, this is rough because I'm a Gen 1 guy, and I love my Gen 1s. I love my
Gen
Charizards.
Oneer
I love
over
my,
here. Oh, jeez.
but I might have to throw my hat in with Mega. Typhlosion, man. My little Cyndaquil was always my
I'm
homie.
so
Gold is
shocked
still my
that
favorite
you guys
Pokemon.
agree with me, because everyone I talk to, I say I love Typhlosion, they're like, that one's like the lamest fire starter. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Like,
Nah, man. Typhlosion was awesome.
He's cool. My friend used to pronounce that Thigh-plosion. And my other friend thought that was so hilarious that he
That
was
is
pronouncing it wrong. That
hilarious.
he's an artist, so he drew what he imagined a thigh-plosion to look like. It was basically a
Bring
Typhlosion
it.
with massively comically jacked legs.
I was going to
running
say,
around.
that's just me after
Thigh
leg day.
Plosion.
Bring it
That's
to
what
me.
I look like.
Do your squats.
Here's another
You
question.
gotta do it.
Yo, why is there so much? Okay, here's the question from Drop Bear King: Is Santa
Drop bear. Oh no.
is Santa bringing Bones a beard for Christmas?
I'm actually
Why
bringing-
does Bones need a beard?
Look,
I was
Why
saying,
would you
why
want to
he
cover up
his
that
beautiful-
face?
I know, he's a
Why
handsome
are
gentleman.
Yeah.
All the beard jokes I thought were gonna go to me, and Bones is getting hit with every beard
Jeez.
joke for some goddamn reason. I don't know why.
I
just
don't
waiting.
understand it at all.
Keep it-
I
keep it
have to grow a
coming.
beard. I'm hideous without it. He looks fine. All right,
Good
just
Lord.
leave the boy be. If he wants one, I will shave off my beard and give it to him.
And give it
though.
him, yeah.
I'll
Wonderful.
give it. Yes.
Locks of Love, beard
Exactly.
edition. Okay, here's a question from Chris L. Is it just me? Yes, it
Probably
is.
not.
Or have the map rotations for sixes been changed to mostly small maps? I don't know. That seems
I don't know.
kind of
I will
speculation.
say-
Upcoming Fallout video of like
Testing map
doing the
rotations.
analysis.
Do they change?
Yeah.
I will say I have gotten Asylum and Cauldron more this week than I've noticed in like the past month or two.
I was
I
watching
think-
some
yeah,
streams
they
and
must-
I noticed a lot of Asylum too.
I think
Yeah.
map rotations might be tweaked just to add more variety to not, get things super stale. I think they must introduce, because there's times where you don't get any longer range maps,
Mm-hmm.
So
As
yeah.
long as Cathedral of Dust never comes up, I'll take it.
F that map. All right, question from I'm the Blue Ranger. I know that guy.
I do too.
What if they brought
His
back
name's
shop
Billy.
package ... as a fusion rifle perk?
You mean Saladin's Vigil?
That's a damn good
That's
fusion.
basically-
dude.
Interesting.
That is a great.
That fusion's
That's
so
an interesting
good.
thought. Like if you ADS'd with your fusion, like
It
tight.
was one bolt and it
Bolt
was super
spread.
tight, like a chaperone slug.
That would probably be a way to make fusion rifles dangerously good very, very quickly.
The meta.
That would be crazy.
Oh,
Have you seen these clips like randomly on Twitter or whatever? Like people getting hilarious
Yes.
fusion rifle
Like-
kills from
like
how did you?
sniping people literally.
Yeah, the planets align and like you just map somebody and you're like, wow.
Oh.
That,
I can't.
they
I would
imagine
feel so
that.
ecstatic
mad.
if I could do that. Meanwhile,
it's like
I
that,
have a
like-
Saladin's Vigil with like a
Well, it's-
perfect roll, and I can't kill
It's
it because I'm
mastering that
terrible.
aiming down sides at precisely the right time,
Yeah.
That seems to be like the key, the gateway to getting a mass sniping with a fusion.
Now
rifle.
that would be an
That's
interesting
true.
mechanic.
I saw that
like,
on a video by.
if you ADS, like it would give you fusion rifle shot package only if you ADS'd during like a certain very small frame window. It'd be like that mechanic from like Gears of War where like you reload your weapon at like the exact right time and like you get like a damage boost or something like that. Like you ADS at like the exact, that would actually be really cool.
I think that reminds me of like competitive Smash 2 in a way where there's those frame perfect moves. Like I wish there
perfect,
were,
baby.
I
Gotta
wish
get
there
your
were
L
things
cancels.
like that.
Gotta hit 'em.
L cancels, dude. Like,
Gotta hit your L cancels.
God, I love
But
you.
I used to play Smash competitively.
Did you
But
really?
You
I
wave
did.
dash
way.
and
Which
slap
one?
a bitch.
Which
West
one?
Coast.
Don't say Brawl.
Melee.
Wow,
Brawl.
dude.
You mean
What else
I
is
have like
there?
your
In that
autograph, dude. Link is like becoming my
The
best
meta
friend
game.
overnight. Who did you play?
man.
Who did you play in Melee?
Oh, here we go. Now it's
Melee Super or Captain Falcon?
Of course.
of
Gotta be
course.
the people's champ.
That really- it
goddamn
would
icon that
obviously
you
be
have,
people's champ.
dude. Captain
Yeah.
Falcon.
Gotta hit that knee. But just thinking about shot package on a fusion rifle, that could work really well for the lower impact, faster charge ones that take you pretty much have to land 5 to 6 bolts to kill with. Could you imagine a split shifter with accelerated coils and shot package on it?
Oh, boy.
If you can get that ADS window open, it lines that thing up like a sniper shot. Suddenly, that gun becomes viable, and that's like the worst fusion rifle right now.
God.
That could be interesting.
I feel like shotguns would be thrown out overnight. If you could map people with fusion rifles
Yeah.
reliably. Seriously, if you could kill somebody with a fusion from across the map, what do you need a shotgun for?
Well, you kind of can with the Queen's Breaker. You can cross map one as long as you get a
That's true,
headshot.
as long
You
as you
know,
get a headshot,
that's
yeah.
kind of what the Queenie is, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
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 More questions.
It's
more
kind of
questions.
pooed on
But you
that
have
one,
to get a
hasn't it?
headshot.
Oh,
You
we
have
should
to
have shut
get
my
a-
mouth.
Well, the only difference is with this, you could body someone, I suppose.
There you go.
Yeah, the advantage.
Questions from Wusabi. Have we answered this already? Either I'm making up memories or, I don't know. Waffles or pancakes? Have we talked about this?
we have,
Yeah.
I think.
I think we talked about this.
And it was
And the general
and-
consensus was both. Let's
I'm,
have
a,
why
one.
I'm
not?
a
Yeah.
waffle. I don't think I was on. I don't know, but my answer's waffles. I just want that to be clear because you
I
can
like-
make little bowls of syrup, and that's fun.
Yeah.
People really
I
like
was gonna
doing
say the
that.
big
little
difference.
bowls.
The big difference is waffles hold your syrup, pancakes absorb them.
Yes.
So you can either have a
Damn
waffle
right.
with like little syrup cups or a pancake that absorbs the flavor of the syrup, and you just cut it and you eat
Yeah.
the pancake, and it tastes like syrup.
And
again.
see, I like a
Pancake
good
is
crunch,
good.
which is why I go for the waffle.
If you
because
like
I
the
want-
crunch, then you
Okay.
got to go for waffle. I like
Exactly.
pancake. I'm a
Yeah, I get
pancake
you.
guy. I like to make them. Bananas. Bananas or blueberries is the top
That's
tier
good.
filling
Oh,
for
okay.
pancakes.
Not going for that
That's the meta.
Top tier,
childhood
that's the
chocolate
meta.
chip.
No, because
That's
you don't.
that was the
overrated.
thing you always saw
You don't
on the
need
menu
it,
at
though.
Denny's, and you say,
Yeah.
"Who orders that?"
Yeah, like because it's
Who-
already
who actually gets
plenty.
that?
Because chocolate chip, in my opinion, it's like it's too sweet. It's too sweet.
Oh, I agree. It's as
I mean, like,
every
'cause if you
cooking
get-
show ever would say. It's cloyingly sweet.
If you
It's
get the banana or the blueberry, it's like it's just enough. It's just enough.
just right. There we go.
It's
Break 'em
clutch
down.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Clutch breakfast
That's
talk
just
here on the
right.
Planet Destiny podcast. Here's an
Give us-
Destiny
yeah, give
question.
us-
Good.
oh.
From Steven Trapp, what is the best counter for people running around with sticky grenades? That's a good question.
Shade step.
Yeah, I was gonna say shade step's all I got. I mean,
If you're not a Night Stalker.
why on earth would you not choose that?
I don't know. I've never really seen sticky nades. That's one of the things that is annoying to be killed by. However,
Right.
if you're the person who's actively setting out to get sticky nade kills, at best, most of the times it's a trade. You know,
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah, like
Yeah, my brother calls them trade nades.
yeah.
Trade
Trade
mates.
That's very true. They are usually my like desperation move. Like I know
Yeah.
I've lost this, so let's take them with me.
I used to
But,
hate the things, but now I find them kind of fun. Oh, and
They're
I've
funny.
never really used them very much up until we had Spooky Trials on Anomaly.
Yes.
They're
I've
actually
never
pretty
really
good
used them.
for-
I've-
if you're
until
a
then.
sunbreaker,
Yeah.
if you're a
Yeah.
breaker who likes to play trials, because what you do is like, if the enemy team is reviving a teammate like close range, and you want to play it safe, you just hang where you are. They revive the body, and you just kind of time it perfectly. You just hit him with the fusion. You're like, all right, sit down.
Yep.
You're done. Enjoy the longer respawn timer.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like if they pop
Hold
up,
the
they
L.
can't escape the sticky nade. Like you just hit them with it. back down again.
Stationary target.
But yeah, what you do is if you recognize that someone is running around abusing a trip or anything really, a specific weapon,
Yeah.
a specific tactic, whatever. It's not just grenades. Recognize that they're doing that and just make sure you're actively thinking, okay, this is what they're doing. How can I make life difficult for them? So if someone's, that's always my thing. Like, how can I make your life difficult?
My strategy is to wait for Fallout to tell me to not go somewhere. He'll just be like, they're throwing a lot of stickies. Get away from there. Get away from there.
It's like
All
if
right. Yes,
I'm
sir.
if I'm 3v3 and I'm fighting a team who's using all snipers, it's like, how do I make your life difficult? Oh, I'm going to shotgun push you because you're not going to be prepared to deal with that very well. So same thing with sticky grenades. How do I make your life difficult? Know that they're going to try to hit you with that and be relatively near cover. Like, don't camp, but like be mobile, because Destiny, like we said, it's a mobile game. So run, jump, surf, crouch slide, be mobile, be near cover. If you see them whip a fireball at you, just
bait that nade and get out of
bait
there.
the nade,
gotta
baby.
bait it out.
Yeah.
Strafe behind cover and give them a couple pops to the head. You'll be fine.
Although sometimes those nades, they really like to lock onto you.
They've got
They'll-
some damn magnetism sometimes.
yeah, they do.
Sometimes.
But-
That's the thing, like the criticism on sticky nades is, oh my god, the aim assist is just way too high. And it's like,
Yeah.
really? Mine don't.
Yeah,
I've
it's
literally
like
thrown
one
the
out of every
thing
4.
at someone and
And they
it's fallen
magnetize
off.
right towards them, and then they go past, and you're like, ah, shit.
Titans, I don't know what it is. I think Titans grease themselves in petroleum jelly because my sticky nades hit them and fall on the floor, and that's it.
It's-
But yeah, like I
You're
used
not
to be
playing
so
greased up in
anti-sticky
jelly.
nade.
I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, man. I used to be anti-sticky nade, but after using them myself, it's like, yeah, they're not that great. There's better stuff in the game. It's just it's like camping. It's annoying to be killed by someone camping on a head glitch. But if you exclusively run the camping head glitch kind of strategy, you're a bit of a detriment to your team and
You can be, yeah.
Yeah, so it's it might work for that one kill, but long term, it's not really a very viable strategy to adopt. You need to be mobile. It is a mobile game, and the more you can understand the movement system and positioning, and be a harder target, then you're going to benefit from that more than you would be camping in a little spot somewhere.
Good call. Maybe time for one more question, yeah?
One more.
Let's do it.
All right, let's make it a good one here. From Alex. Question from Alex. I haven't done the raid yet, and I'm nervous to LFG. What should I do? Suggestions for best practices.
You can go to the subreddit for Sherpas, and you might be able to find a nice
Yes.
person there.
That's true.
Just,
Find a streamer that doesn't have a massive following that does raid help, and start chatting to them.
That's a good
That's
idea
true.
too.
There's
Now-
plenty of raid Sherpas on Twitch.
Yeah.
Really nice guys.
Guys like the Black Link.
Exactly.
We do it right here on PD.
Hayden as well on
every
Xbox. He does raid help every week as well.
And, LFG gets a bad rep sometimes. I've heard and I've lived through some pretty bad horror stories.
Year one was fun.
Oh, God. But, I mean, if you're going to use LFG, first try to get as big of a group of your own people as you can. So, like, if you only have 2 friends who play Destiny, start with that. Get a group of the 3 of you, and then now only use LFG for 3 more people. So if you're in control of the group and someone starts acting like a horse's ass, then you ask them what the shape of Italy is, and then you kick them right out of the party.
Boom.
And yeah, I mean, I've met a really lot of nice people on
Same
LFG
here.
too. You meet a lot of creeps,
Yeah.
but there's really a lot of cool
Those are all
people.
me. I'm the creeps.
Every
the
time.
The key is to be very upfront with like what you need, I feel like, and then
Your
and to
experience,
remember that like if you have a bad experience, it's just a dick online or something. Like it's not the end of the
Yeah.
world. So don't be afraid to run into like
There's
the occasional
more
jerk.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
man.
always more people who need a group. I mean,
I say give it a shot. And I mean, like, what's the alternative? You don't do the raid? You might really want to do it. And
Yeah.
You could get lucky.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna agree. And ultimately, it comes down to just try to run it, man.
Yeah.
Wrath of the Machine is really, it's not that difficult. It's extremely fun to play through, and you owe it to yourself, man. Just take a step into the pool. I get the feeling you'll probably not have too much trouble because, LFG gets a bad rap sometimes, but there are a lot of legitimate people on there who are trying to get stuff done and who are very wonderful to play with.
Yeah.
I've dealt with it too.
Yeah.
And just dive on in, man. Just dive on in.
I find I have a pretty easy time with the Xbox's new built-in LFG system. I run into nice people on there every time I've used it, but I could just be lucky. Yeah.
Well, good stuff, boys.
Yeah.
Another milestone. We've ended on time yet again.
Yes.
Damn right.
Yep.
We stretched out the empty content.
We
did it.
We just have another one to do next week.
Oh, no.
Hopefully not.
We're just going to let Bones talk the entire time next week when he's back.
Yeah.
That's the plan, yeah.
It's
We're
all
gonna
on you,
be sick.
Bones, next
Yeah.
week.
Hey, we'll get to talk about the tourney at least. That'll be fun.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah. Again,
Yeah.
what time should we remind the Masters?
Saturday, December 3rd, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Be there.
Bring a
Watch some
sausage and a
hype.
Christmas hat.
What is that even?
Yes,
Do that.
both.
Bring
Bring
those
both.
things.
Bring everything.
And watch some hype 4v4.
Yeah, man.
Black Link,
Okay.
where can we find you?
Yo, hi, my name's TBL, and you can find me generally everywhere on the internet at The Black Link. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all of it at The Black Link. You can also find me right here in this place, on this channel, on the Planet Destiny Twitch page, where I do 3-day-a-week streams, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We run Nightfalls, raids, PvP, and retro raids on Thursdays. It's a lot of fun. Mega, where you at, buddy?
Well, what he said, but search Husky Raid. No, Twitter, you can find me Husky Raid, guys. Search YouTube for Husky Raid. I don't stream on this Twitch channel. I'm not cool like that. But I do stream on YouTube occasionally. We usually do trials at least once a week, usually on Friday, if you want to see us not even get close to making it to the lighthouse. Just not even a little bit close. Fallout, where can we find you?
You can find me everywhere. Just Google Fallout Plays. YouTube.com/Fallout Plays. Twitch.tv/Fallout Plays. I make a lot of really in-depth content related to Destiny PvP. Hopefully you'll learn a lot. Good times. And I'll stream on Planet Destiny Twitch when I get a wild hair up my butt. So, there you go.
And when we
Story.
finally get our stuff together as well, it will happen. It will
It'll
bloody
happen.
happen.
I really want to play
It'll
with you guys on
happen.
PlayStation, so
You do, man.
make it
You
happen.
do.
It's going to
Yes.
We need
Story.
We need to get people in for that as well. Like get the crowds in.
Oh yeah.
You
Take
can
it-
find
take it
me. I've changed my tag underneath. It's down here, look, because it's spelt funny. If you just type that in a Google search, you'll find everything that I do. But you don't want to, because I'm pretentious and egotistical, and I'm a conspiracy theorist. So I'm one of those people that you want to
I'm
avoid because
sold.
I'm a terrible community
Deal.
member. I'm
do
literally
I
the
sign
purest, darkest evil of the community. So you really don't want to bother with anything that I do.
The final boss.
So that's that.